we will uh, soak in the information, and since it's a nice small group, we can probably I'll watch chat and try and field questions as they come, and we'll just learn as much as we can and take notes for those who can't make it.
Great. All right, I'll just kick things off. I'll simply just introduce Magali. The last time that we all met, I had mentioned that we would have an opportunity to kind of get updates on, what GALE has been doing in regard to improving discovery services, the integration of our content in the various knowledge bases. And of importance to you all was the Alma Primo updates that we've been working on. Before I introduce Magali, who is our product manager at GALE for Discovery Services, she liaisons with each one of our discovery partners. She's the expert in that regard, but the seat had been vacant for a long time. And so to give Magali the respect for the work and the effort that she's set forth, I just wanted to set the tone with the group that we had an individual in the role previously, but that individual wasn't really getting things done sort of at appropriate level. And then the role was vacant for a while. So roughly, give or take or so 2 years, the seat was vacant. And then just recently, a few months back, Magali joined our team at GALE, and she's been doing an amazing job of evaluating the current situation with our discovery partners and making some immediate improvements to discovery services, particularly working with Alma Primo and Clarivate, Clarivate to kind of fix some of the way the content and metadata is delivered to the partners. So Magali is here, and Magali, I don't know if you wanted this to be more of a discussion or if you had some slides to share. I wasn't sure. Do you want to kind of kick off about how you'd prefer to do it? Do you want to just start off on talking a little bit about your background, how you came to GALE, and then maybe kind of we can talk about some of the updates? Your preference?
Thank you. Yes, thank you, Sarah. Yes, I would love to have a discussion. I have some slides, but it seems we want to start, as you suggested, to introduce myself. So I have been working in discovery for a very long time. Has been in the industry, has been at least 15 years. I'm pretty new to GALE, as Sarah mentioned. I started in October last year, but the experience I had with knowledge bases here in the UK and publishers has helped me really to wrap things quite quickly in GALE. Of course, the complexity of the internal processes is always a challenge, especially in a size of a content provider like GALE. But all the side of the relationship with content, with service providers, with the discovery services, it has been quite smooth. Actually, I have met people I used to work before, so the relationship is there and is going very well. As Sarah mentioned as well, GALE has this position, so it's really have a wrap on discovery for a few years, and that has makes the things are that we have kind of a backlog to work with. So if I can share my screen very quickly, it's just 2-3 slides. It's no more. I promise I don't gonna bother you with a lot of stuff. Just to let you know where we are and what we're doing. So let me share my screen. Please, if you have any question, please let me know anytime. Okay, so share. So I'm gonna do my slideshow. Let this is bigger and much clearer from here. So GALE is active in discovery, is active in discovery already, and we work with the 4 major players of discovery: Clarivate, OCLC, and EBSCO. I'm saying 4 major players because Clarivate is so big, and I'm still thinking about this SFX, Serial Solution, ProQuest, and etc. I think they count for 2. And lately, we have signed an agreement, discovery agreement with Cercedinix as well for a new discovery services that they are start working on. So part of our discovery works, we work with K-parts. So we deliver K-parts. It's all available in our support pages. And as well, we send discovery feeds. So the discovery feeds are for the indexes. And that we got already 25 feeds installed. K-bar are for the knowledge bases. That is to another system that you really well know. It works hands to hands with indexes. So as I came to GALE and we got the backlog and we have so many issues, I started to understand what is the situation with GALE. So to know that the discovery workflows are very complex, between, because they require the integration and interactions between different systems, so content providers, service providers, libraries, and all is very unintegrated workflows of metadata and configurations. So this, as you know, there is so many possibilities that it breaks the flow. And this one is a slide that's not mine. It's coming from an article in Discovery, but I like it because it summarizes all the major causes of problems in the library discovery, and as well establish where these problems are, because Discovery to work well, to make it happen, it requires the interaction as well and the work together between publishers, vendors, and library. So this, just to illustrate more or less, that is the major causes in general. And where we are in GALE, we have detected issues in these areas. So we know that we have some missing content, our metadata, it create problems. In a certain points, our URLs, our metadata create problems. It can affect as well the open URL. We have seen as well that the lack of proper interaction with the vendors have made that we are not sure is our data is updated on a regular basis. We don't have much information from the vendors, from the system vendors, of when the deletions happen, when the ingestion happen, etc. But this is not particular to GALE. I want to make sure you understand that this problematic with the vendors, I have seen it before for many, many years. So vendors, system vendors, Clarivate or EBSCO, CLC, whoever you name it, they're very secretive and very protective of this kind of information or when things happen on their side. So, and this situation is not strange to GALE. And alongside the problem with the metadata we may have, or that you create, it exacerbates the situation sometimes for our customers. From the library side as well, we have noticed this, as you mentioned before, I think at the beginning of the call, the interest, or always the big questions of which target to activate is a big question for many people. And so that is where we are. So I started in October last year. So we have to start making some actions because the situation required is a chat. The question. Oh, thank you. So what we have done, so what we are doing right now, in a little bit what we are doing in the next, in the near future. So we are working mainly in three areas. So we got the metadata improvements, assisting customers in communication. That is our focus of interest right now. These are examples when they use these bullet points. I can't list really every single thing we're doing because it will be so long, but it's kind of the big lines of where we are. So in the metadata improvement related to the previous slides, we are doing the metadata corrections. We go issues, clear issues with some of our products. And we, for example, for the in-context products, we have done some corrections. And as I said before, any discovery to work has to work in interaction with the vendors, interaction with the library. So we have corrected this title list for in-context products. We have sent it to Clarivate. If we're waiting for them to ingest it, one is because we want to know is the correction we have performed this time, it has been corrections and manual corrections, are the right ones, and actually solving the problems. We need them to ingest it, and we say, okay, that solves the problem, so we can actually make our databases for title lists do it more automatically. Other products, for example, the Literature Resources Center, it was a big issue with our products. It was so confusing what we have, what we didn't have, and etc. And that makes that all our discovery partners, they have actually different lists for that particular product. So as well, for this product, we have created a title list, a clean one. We have made corrections. We have added information about what is selective and what is full text. It's and this is kind of new in general for the knowledge bases, because knowledge bases are not used to have this kind of data. And we are very interested to understand what they're going to do with it. And is that given more transparency and better understanding to our customers of what is inside the product. So the linkage, it will be much neater, because actually you should link to things you actually have, and a rough idea of what it could be. You know what I mean? We are working a lot with our primary sources. Products, we have sent a lot of the data to Clarivate, and they were willing and they were very, very interested to have, and so they are working ingesting them. So we're quite excited about that, because it will be kind of a big difference for our customers. We have a big project. Actually, we are start working in April, so very, very soon. So now we are in all the preparations on what, so is to correct our title list. So the experiments I mentioned before about the correction in the in-context products and the literature products, etc., that will fit to our projects and say, okay, we need to correct that. So that will be a big one. And as well, time permitting, or something that we need to has a roadmap. For those, we need to increase the number of our database feeds actually for discovery. Another area, assisting customers. Here I have put a lot of the GRC because it's one of our programs that we have. But inside GRC, there is a lot of our individual products. And we want to arrive to understanding exactly what is present in the knowledge bases on these discovery services. What are what exactly need our customers to activate? How well described are there? Are they proper linking? Are they, they are complete, and etc. So it's a kind of an analysis. It has to be basically product by product to understand who has what. All our partners should have the same. Big discrepancy, for example, one discovery partner has 1,000 more titles for a target than the other, stuff like this. We have as well the completeness within, so everything and all the linkage is kind of uniform. So are they using? So it's a lot of interaction, as you can imagine, a lot of emails, a lot of questions, a lot of analysis going on there. And the last point that we are working, but not the least, is actually communication. So making sure that the queries coming from our customers directly to us receive a proper answer. The queries that are coming from our partners to us as well, they receive a proper answer in a timely manner. And we keep up to date everybody and the best of our abilities. As you can imagine, some of these issues on discovery, they are really intricate. It takes a lot of analysis. It takes queries from different teams and etc. So it can take time. But my first worry is that customers actually receive something from us, say, well, we are actually working on it. So we haven't abandoned it. And as well for our partners, that they understand that things will take long or it's very quickly and going by one. And we need to coordinate that in a big company as we are. So we have been spending time trying to address the workflows, trying to make sure everybody receives the feedback they're receiving, and trying to understand where the weakest link of the communication are happening. But it is question. But I'm very glad to say, and I'm completely honest to say that things have improved quite quickly, actually. People are embracing the changes with a lot of very open-minded and very positive attitude. And I think that things we want to catch up very soon in all the issues we have seen before. That's just a little bit from me. I wanted to give room for the discussion or any question that you have. So is discuss any question, please?
I guess I have a question. So in your role, are you able to escalate specific tickets for us between either GALE and Ex Libris, for example?
Yes. So we got contact so when you send a ticket to the help desk in Ex Libris, we should receive a copy. And if Ex Libris needs a feedback from us or needs a piece of information from us, they will contact us. But as well, we got communication in other sides. So we got the vendors relationship manager, that is our direct contact. So it's one of our customers feels that their tickets haven't been successfully resolved by Ex Libris, and that Ex Libris hasn't been in contact with us. You always can contact us, and we can go around with the vendor relationship manager and ask them, so what is going on with this ticket? Customer is not happy. And usually we have several calls, so we go 2 calls per month. One is for the discovery part, other one is a lot about tickets.
So, for example, could I email you directly about a ticket that we've had in Ex Libris for a couple of years that has not been resolved? Or how would that work to do the escalation? Yeah.
In that case, if you contact me directly, in that kind of cases, especially if they are 2 years old, this is the kind of things that we want to hear about. For the regular, for example, you go 1 ticket now, if you think that the problem is like on Ex Libris or for Clarivate, you can continue contact them. If they don't come back to you or they don't resolve things, you can always contact me directly. We just give it a chance as well to do it. But if as of the Lourdes, they're taking 2 years and nothing happened, we need to understand why are they waiting for something from us? What happens, is a piece of development on their sides, etc.
So yeah, we've had a couple of tickets into Ex Libris about a particular problem. We will have a ticket into GALE about the particular problem. But to be honest, what we found out is that each vendor points the finger at each other, right? GALE says, no, it's an Ex Libris problem. And Ex Libris looks at it and says, no, it's a GALE problem. And then the customer is sitting and we don't, get it resolved. So if I can find, is it helpful for you if I know the Ex Libris ticket number, I have to find the GALE one. If I can give you both of those, and then are you able to be some type of intermediary to sort of say, hey, let's escalate this, let's figure out what's going on? Is that something that you can do?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, absolutely. And for that reason, one of the main aspects of my work right now is to smooth the communication, to make sure customer receives the feedback, partners receive the feedback, because you pointed very well. Vendors and content providers tend to point the fingers at each other. It's not something like sometimes it's really, it's an ex libris side, or sometimes, but we need to make sure that they understand it's in their side. For example, I give you an example. It's was no with Clarivate. So our tech team sent a message, say, resolve the tickets and say, oh, EBSCO has to do blah, blah. And the blah, blah, it was kind of an acronym. And boom, finish. But after, EBSCO come back to us and say, oh, what means blah, blah, your RNT? And I said, yeah, you need to, and when I saw that, I said, oh, maybe everybody knows what it is, but no, nobody, the person receiving it from EBSCO didn't know what it is. So it has to come back. So it come back through me and say, okay, can we spell out these things? Even if we think that they are obvious, sometimes they are not. So now, we learn. We say, okay, we need to spell it out. We need to make things that's easy for our teams to don't repeat the things, have glossaries or something like this, just to make the communication more smoother. But only happen this kind of situation is actually people say something, since got this customer support person in EBSCO actually came back to us, oh, I don't understand. So now we can tell him what exactly need to happen. And now we can tell confidently to our customer, oh, we have sent all the information required to our discovery partner. If the discovery partner needs more information, we are here to help. But the communication has to be fluid, because we're not going anywhere.
All right. Well, thank you. I really appreciate having an advocate who can help go between vendors. So I guess by the end of this call, you'll leave your contact information. Is that correct? Your email or?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank
I
you.
think Sarah can liaise with you after. Yeah.
Yeah,
Or put it in the chat either way. Thanks.
Yeah. So one thing that you can do, so this, Magali is the product manager for discovery services at GALE. You also have customer success support, so my team support. And so we can, you can share that information. I mean, because it's going to be hard for you all to remember, okay, my sales rep is this person, my trainer is this person, my discovery person is this person at GALE. So there is our general email box for academic engagement that I'll put in the chat, and then I'll also put Magali's information. Jennifer, you have a very specific instance, right? Like that, Magali's aware of. She's going to go, do the research on that case, et cetera. But anytime you have a discovery issue, you can send it to, the academic outreach and engagement mailbox, and we can work with Magali to get you the answer that you need. Or you can email her direct. I'm not telling you what to do. It's just sometimes it's a lot when you've got all these different names and you're not sure like who to go to at an organization like GALE. So I just wanted to give you options. But Magali is open. My team partners with her quite heavily, just to kind of say like, we can't figure this one out from a discovery perspective. Magali, what do you think is happening here? And then that keeps her aware. It keeps that line of communication with her vendor service partners going, because at those standing meetings, then she can say, oh, we're starting to see a trend in X, Y, or Z customer issues. This is all related to this. This is how you'll fix it. And, kind of work with the partner in that regard. So it's just been great to have Magali on board. Like I said, I think we'll start to see some of these improvements after Clarivate in general starts to ingest some of her work, some of the KBART lists and refined information that she's shared with them. I think you'll start to see particular product family improvements around the GALE literature products, the in context series of products, et cetera. She spent a lot of time kind of cleaning those up. So hopefully in the coming month, you'll start to reap the benefits of some of that work. But we're having this conversation today because we want to be helpful to you all. We don't want discovery and our relationship with Clarivate to be an impediment to how you use our products. So we're super grateful for the opportunity to spend this time with you and kind of, whatever we can do to remediate anything, we're happy to do that. So I'll put those 2 email addresses in the chat, and then you can kind of decide what you want to do and how you want to file those. Okay.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I have a question, and kind of more for the whole group, I suppose. My issue with our GALE databases in our discovery in Primo is it's the one database or the one product we have that consistently takes us to abstracts only instead of full text. And I don't know if that's a me problem and I have the wrong things activated, or if this is kind of a larger issue with the GALE records.
Which database is this one? Because we got databases that go full text and abstracts on citations. So it's dependent database. So certain databases are really like some of the literature products is really extracts of
I
lot
only
of little
activated the
things.
ones that were like let me see, I can get into my collections here. The bigger ones. Let's see here. I'm trying to get in. Ones I have activated: GALE Business Insights Global, GALE Academic One File, GALE Business Entrepreneurship, GALE in Context College, GALE Health and Wellness. It looks like that's it. And I don't have the details about if I haven't narrowed it down if it's just one of those or not, but those are the ones I have activated. And that's the complaint I'm routinely getting from our librarians and our students is why, when why is it taking me to a description of the article, but not the whole article? And then when I go and check in our database, it doesn't exist in full, like it's not one that is part of our full text availability in GALE. So it's been frustrating.
Absolutely, yeah. I know that's because you believe you got something, actually you don't have it. You don't understand, it is something wrong with the linking or how this has been in discovery, or it's actually the database that it has a certain amount of content in a certain way. To be honest, I'm very visual, and it's kind of an example. So if you come across or you have an old example for an old query, and we're very happy to receive it and analyze what the problem is and what the answer is. Probably the answer will be database by database. The situations are different because we have different kind of content. But yes, GALE databases, they go full text, that is the majority of the content, but in occasions we go just citation only, and the citations and abstracts as well, but those are the minority of the content. And also when you were naming the collections you have connected, I hear that you were connected GALE Business Global, and I'm not sure, it has been a migration for the Business Insight products. You should have received the communication about, yes, Sarah, yes, and that's this, the new database that you need to connect in Clarivate. For this migration, we really work ahead with Clarivate, and they create an article for commercial customers to explain what the changes has to be in your Primo and Alma discovery service.
I'll take a look at that. I'm going back through my email trying to find examples, and one of them was to do with the Encyclopedia of Management. So maybe it's one that so it is a business title. So maybe I don't have the right thing activated. I don't remember hearing about a change. Okay, thank you.
And Magley, I don't know if you saw that in the chat, but someone had posted, I checked the title list in that kind of situation, and sometimes the full text availability in Alma doesn't match with the GALE title list. Do you want to touch on a little bit about the title list work?
Yeah, the title list works. So it's kind of the improvements we have made for the title list is to clarify. So title lists for ALMA, that is a knowledge base, are based in a format called KBART. KBART is a standard recognized by in the industry. KBART gives the possibility to actually indicate when these things where the content is being included. So they got these options. So the more popular option, of course, is the full text, but as well gives the options to add values like selected articles or abstracts only, etc. So we are embracing that part of the standard, and with the in-context title list we have created, we have actually, and the literature products as well, we have actually add values other than full text to indicate when our content is selected for a specific monograph. So the good thing of the GALE products is they has this indexing, this willingness to provide a fully complete sort of content, but run as subjects that take us to some of the content is selective. But if we need to translate that for knowledge bases, if we have used these improvements on the KBAR that we communicate to Clarivate, and we are waiting for them to ingest it to see how that will look. That will make that your ALMA title list as well is more aligned with what we have. We need to understand as well that ALMA or Clarivate in general, they use something like they like to call enrichments. So what they do with the enrichment, when they receive records for the same content from different sources, they actually make a super mega record. So they not necessarily use the records that you see in your Alma Primo. They are not necessarily the exact record that we send them to them. They call it enrichment. What they do is, they say it's a super record. So they merge records from different sources. And that practice that they have produce in occasions something seems very, very weird. For example, some of the customers, they send me a record from Alma Primo, and they were saying, oh, it's such a small article. You have put 20 keywords there, indexing keywords. And we checked what we sent to Clarivate, and that one wasn't ours. So probably we sent 5 keywords or 5 index terms for that small article. But they, with the practice to merge every single thing in a big record, it makes things a little bit weird in occasion. And sometimes they overwrite as well. The only way to determine that is happening is when we hear from customers, if we analyze what we sent, and we can say to Clarivate, oh, hold on, we haven't sent you this, we have sent you that. If we send something that is wrong, we will correct it and send the corrections. If they have merged everything, they need to disambiguate the records. But it's a constant flow of interaction for that. I don't know if I answered your questions, but here they go, for example. Oh, okay, cool. Let me see if I can open one. There's something in the chats.
Sorry, I realized you may not be able to open the first one because it's behind our paywall. But if you go to the second link,
okay, yeah,
that is the link that a student would search on. They would click. What did I click on? I clicked on, I think, GALE Academic 1 file, and then we get to a stub article. I mean, I can share screen if that's of help, but I don't want to derail this meeting either. So.
See a second. Some people you. Yeah, this is kind of say one example of what I was saying, because we just send the citation for them. So we shouldn't appear in the full text
Right.
availability. So I don't want to do it right now, but
Right.
if
I was
you
just trying to give you an
step-
example.
the steps,
'Cause, yeah.
the step I will follow in the kind of cases is check our title list, what has been told in the title list, how we have described this. Is in our title list, we are describing like a full text. We need to make a correction there. But if the title list has no described as a full text or doesn't have that information, probably is ex libris merging everything and finding that these ISBNs among our feeds and believing that we have it. So it kind of is kind of the steps. It has to follow its steps right now. It's like, okay, let's check what we have sent. And they take it from there, really. Because I see opposite views. The opposite views, probably, we don't send abstract citation for opposite views. It should be something more complete in that product, I believe. But now I'm clicking with that, and the clicking is not taking me where I want to go. Yeah, but I understand what you're saying, and thank you. I will just copy and paste from the chat box.
Yeah, in this case,
Um,
this is coming from a journal called the Social Behavior and Personality. And so when I go to when I go to Primo and I see if we have that title, I go to the periodical search in Primo, it just shows that we don't even have that title at all. And we don't own it, right? We don't own full text access, and yet it is coming up in Primo saying that we do have full text access. So again, I don't know if this is a vendor to vendor type of thing.
yeah, I will not know until I analyze the bits, but I need to check what we have sent to them and what we have in our platforms, and only then I can say, "Oh, that doesn't let me copy and paste this."
The interesting thing with this article and what I find too in this situation is if I click on once I click on the link and it goes to GALE and it shows just the abstract or the citation. If you click on the journal, once you're in the GALE database, it actually is full text in there, and you actually can eventually navigate to full text articles. So it's almost like there's something wrong in the GALE database itself, not necessarily, I don't know, maybe in addition to the linking, because
I was going to check the title list really quick to see if there's an embargo on the title. Let me just check.
when I go to the title, I can get into articles from 2022. Like I can get into 2023 full text articles in GALE.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very confused. I'm very confused by the whole, I don't know if it's the linking from Primo or the GALE product itself, but it's not been a very positive experience because of this exact issue, not understanding what we actually do and don't have and how to get there.
Yeah, probably we can benefit from some, understanding of what is the editorial policies on the inclusion policies. Just to reassure customers like you saying, okay, we got this one. It's kind of, yeah, 2008 to 2023 for what I can see in one file, but it's on the product. So Sarah is looking into the thing. I have a case. Let me copy. Listed. Title level data for academic was supposed to get updated. I read in the chat. Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, it's one I was referring before. I'm not 100% sure when our data is being updated in the knowledge bases. They said, so now we create the title list the first of the month. So our title lists are created and posted and they're ready the first of every month. They say they parse our title list at the same time, so at the same day. I'm not sure really how long it takes. Sometimes it takes off. Sometimes I get the impression it takes an awful lot of time to do it when it should be something very automatic because they're parsing our title list pages. That means they're harvesting automatically, and it shouldn't be that longer. But it's something that I don't have any control really on understanding when exactly things are happening, because the information I get from them is probably as blurry as the information you get from them. They're saying, oh, it's happening, or it's a schedule, it will happen, and then nothing happened. So it's kind of very, very strange. So unfortunately, I cannot copy and paste from the chat box. So I probably need just to take note of this case.
Yeah, so I'll copy it for you, Magali, and I'll send it
Okay,
to
thank you.
email. Yeah, no worries.
No, that would be very helpful because I'm going to miss. So I copy the links.
And then Jennifer, you're with Green River, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And we've had a couple more questions in chat. One about the virtual reference library, that the links go to title level records and not article level records. And then the most recent question is, and this is probably Sarah, maybe your team, are you able to do any kind of overlap analysis so that we can actually, so that since the title lists in Alma are not correct, so that, we can have something to trust as far as overlap with other subscriptions.
I don't understand that, to be honest. So to overlap analysis for us on your end, comparing our GALE subscription to other subscription from other vendors?
This was my question. So for example, our EBSCO rep can, on his end, do an overlap analysis. So tell us what EBSCO title is unique compared to our ProQuest subscriptions and our JSTOR subscriptions. And I'm wondering if GALE has that availability, and not all vendors do. I think our EBSCO rep's the only one I know who's able to do that so far. But do you guys have that available on your end where you could do tell us what content is unique to you that isn't also in, for example, our ProQuest subscriptions and our JSTOR subscriptions?
Yeah, and then how do you
yep.
use that in concert with the discovery? Just so that it's in the right format. I mean, I don't understand. Is it just a separate thing?
Yes, like if I just want to know what unique content GALE has that we're not getting from our other subscriptions. Alma has a tool that does that, but it's based on the data Alma has for the collections. And so if that data is not accurate, I need an accurate list of what unique content we're getting from GALE that we're not getting anywhere else. And I'm wondering if you guys have something on your end that would help with that, or no, if we just need to get those records in Alma accurate so that their tool will be accurate for us.
So I have a tool that can do an overlap analysis. I would just need to know specifically what EBSCO products and what GALE products you want me to compare. Like, I don't know I don't know what EBSCO products you have, but
Sure, of course.
you could email that to me and then I could run the overlap analyses. But you know, and then Madely's work with the title list and the partner will smooth out sort of these issues as best as we can. So there'll be improvements with as Madely said, right, as they start to ingest these new title lists that she's created, that it should kind of smooth out some of the linking issues in the discovery service. But separately, I certainly can send you an overlap analysis.
Okay. Thank you.
And Madely, you said that you're doing new title lists on the 1st of every month and getting those posted. Is there a place on the GALE website where that new information is? You know, so
Yeah,
maybe
that
I
is,
can help folks with overlap stuff too.
yeah, that is our support pages. Always our K-bar list has been posted there, and that is a rule that has been in place since the beginning of our provision of K-bar. So it's not my not my success. It has been there, and the team has been doing it for a while. It has been always. Let me see if I can find them.
So is it
Okay.
this
You want
page
me to
that I
share
just
it?
put in chat? I
So,
just want to make sure.
yeah, so support.gale.com. And then for our title list, it's under product support. And so there's title list here. And then you'll see the KBART title list. So these, for these in context products where there's just a single title list, these are the ones that Madely has worked on to refine, which once they are, I'm probably using the wrong language. Once they're consumed by Clarivate and their knowledge base, should sort out any like bad linking issues. So where you see just KBART XLS, those are the ones that have been redefined by Madely.
Wow, good work. Thank
Yeah.
you, Madely. That seems insane.
So I'll just grab that and put it in the chat. Oh, same one. There you have it twice. All right. Any other questions? There was a question about GBRL. Did we get to that question? Did you talk about the GALE ebooks reference entries? The links go to the title level records, not articles.
We sent XML for the index at article level. We sent a lot of data for the ebooks platforms to Primo. And we have as well the title list for the same products available as well in our website for ALMA. To be honest, I think our GALE ebooks K-bar list is one of our best title lists. It's kind of straightforward and well formatted. So which you should really see article level data. For Primo, we sent a lot of the full text as well to be indexed by Primo. So, and I think it is several examples on article level entries. So maybe if you don't have connected the ebooks database in Primo, so if you have connected the ebooks database target in Alma, you're gonna just see titles. You may need to go to Primo and verify you have connected the titles. Unless, yes, I'm not sure if you got a package for ebooks as well, that sometimes it's difficult to do that connection, because if you go just a subset, you have to scroll down and find it in the title list.
Well, in the past, the out of the box parameter wasn't working. So in the community listserv, somebody came up with the override, and I've been having that in place for the past few years, and that was working. But recently it kind of stopped working. So I'm not sure if others are having the same problem or not. Maybe I was thinking maybe Ex Libris actually updated the parameters, and that maybe I just need to go back to the default. Maybe the
Yeah,
override is having trouble or something.
this has worked a lot for the linking. For I can say, I have revised a lot of the all release notes in the release note for Alma and Primo, and it's a lot of work that has gone on in the past. And from our contact as well, he mentioned a lot of work saying something, oh yes, our linking was terrible, a few years ago, but now we got it, we sorted, and etc. So yes, I will encourage to come back to see if you can get a better configuration there, but we're taking notes also. So we probably can, after this meeting, I can go through and confer with Sarah, and understand what's the issue. Is it something has changed? As you see, it's another case. No, it's the same case. And there's another link. And it's the same case. Yeah. In this case, it's 6543967. Oh yeah, sorry, you're asking things in the chat, so that message come back.
Oh, sorry.
I said, well, I saw that one.
Yeah, I could not remember. I knew it was Seattle, but I just couldn't remember which. All right.
So it is 2 until 10. And it sounds like there are some widespread issues and then some more individual quirky ones. And the advice that you have, Sarah, is to email your team, and then you can make sure it gets to Magley if it's indeed something that she can address. But there's also her email in the chat, and I've put it in the notes. So yeah, and our open call, we can continue to chat about this stuff, but it's in a different Zoom room because I didn't even think about like extending. So but yes, thank you so much, Magley, for joining us from across the Atlantic. And I think that you'll hear from many people after today, and hopefully what you can get from it is the pattern of issues, and then have a path. So yeah, any final information either side would like to share? And this is recorded, so I'll have all the chat. So Sarah, I can also take all of these specific ones and pass them on to you and Magley so that you've got the text of those.
That would be very
good.
helpful. Yeah, thank you. But thank you very much, everybody. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your passion as well. We need to, these things, we can get at the bottom of it. So I'm quite optimistic. I know it takes time. I know you have been waiting for very long. And I can just assure you, we are on the ball. We are not dropping it. We really want to get this sorted and get you the straight answers as much as possible that you require from us.
Yeah, well, you've got a lot of work to do, Magley, and I'm very glad that you are in that role now. So we will certainly be in touch, and thank you all so much for your time this morning. Amy is at Olympic College, Sarah.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Oh,
Okay.
we'll see you guys
Thank you
in a
all.
minute.
Thank you, Sarah.
All right. Take care, everyone.
Take care.